Black boys rap about their dick size, how they'll bust this pussy wide open. Like the 45 that killed his best friend's skull, bust wide open, brain matter on ground and mind.
What's up, guys? How y'all feeling?
Hard to get out of contact.
KC, what's up, baby?
He can't sleep.
How you doing, man? How that money? Man? How that Monty feeling? How that Monty doing? Hey Taylor, how are you?
White sheets and coffins, so every day he prepares.
JD, man.
His dick becomes his
when I get my new whip, man, you already know. You already know.
To put a baby in me because he don't think he'll last long.
My brother, JD Auto Detailing.
Black girls.
Mom,
on our
what's up, mister?
Spread out legs for these boys.
Hey,
ourselves for these boys.
God in here, what's up, buddy?
Let them slide inside of us while they try to find their way home. They think it makes them men when they come back.
Right on time.
So they write rap songs about how they kill this pussy because there's a war in the streets, you know?
She went crazy.
Back on, nigga. Black on, nigga. Black.
There he is.
What's good with you, bro?
How you doing, my brother?
Man, I ain't making no noise, man. I'm chilling. What's good?
Hey, man, you doing it right, man. I love free game, man.
Oh, thanks, bro. Thank you.
That's just important.
Trying to play my part, man.
Man, you know, I always do homework on the people that I do have these dad talks with, because I really care about my platform and I care about you, you know, the people that I talk to.
100%.
And I will say, by far, the homework I did on you was, it felt really good, man. You know, I'm a sucker for fashion things. I identify a lot more with fashion people than anything else in life. And I appreciate your way, man. I appreciate it, man. Your spirit is very appreciated.
No, thanks, bro. It's one of those things where we all get a chance to talk to cool all day, right? I think we live in a world of cool. We live in a world of fashion. We live in a world of hype. And it's like, yo, there's enough of that out there. So how can I add something different to the world, man? Like I think obviously the work that we've done and we continue to do on the fashion side and the retail side and the sneaker side speaks for itself. But I think now thinking about as I've been in the game for a while, it's like, damn, how could I help these youngins get to a different place a lot easier than what it took us, right?
Whew. I don't want anybody to go down my journey. No, I would never wish it on my enemy. Yeah. You know, I never, hey Matt, I would never wish that. I want people to have their journey, and your journey will come with its own bumps. But if I could avoid as many bumps for you as possible, I'm all about it. All about it.
Yeah, man. I don't think people realize no one ever sees us bump our heads. No one sees the blood and you gushing and you unconscious and you wake up the next day and you got to go do the same thing again because that's the only option you got. Like,
amen.
You know?
Amen. So without further ado, brother, this is Dad Talk. I like to do a little intro for anybody that doesn't know that's watching right now. This is my main man's here, James Whitner, the owner of Social Status. I'm a Rainier, the Whitaker Group, Prosper, Free Game. You know, this is a brother of many talents. I truly appreciate you having on the platform, having you here on the platform, brother, and how we do it. It's a very simple process of conversation. 3 questions. 1 for 3 from me, 3 from you. It starts with me, and we alternate, and then we'll take some questions from the people if we got time.
Yep.
All right, my brother. So, question number 1, and like I said, I really enjoy. Like I got a page full of homework here because I relate on so many levels. So some of my questions will be a little long, 2 parts, but bear with me. And if it's anything that you don't want to answer, just please tell me next question.
Go for
it. So question number 1, like I said, 2-part. And I ask everybody, this is my mission statement right here, mission question. Do you love what you do? And do you think you deserve the success that you have to date right now?
Definitely. This is an easy one for me.
Yes. I know.
I absolutely am in love and continue to fall in love with what I do every day. That's the dream and the blessing. And I don't think I deserve what I have. I think I deserve more. I mean, I think ultimately we got to project on ourselves we have to project on ourselves what our opportunities are, and we got to be willing to dream. And why not me?
Talk to it.
Right? There's no reason for it not be me. Like Jeff Bezos is a real human being, right?
Real.
Elon Musk is a real human being. Phil
Real.
Knight is a real person. Like these are real things that happen. Michael Jordan is a person. He's a man, right?
Real man.
So why not us? Why can't we be great? So I'll never say. I mean, obviously there's those surreal moments where like I can't believe it's happening. I'm so blessed that it happened and having the opportunities that I have. But now that I'm here, I'm never going to be happy to be here.
I love that you said that, man. When I was doing my homework, like I said, I feel that, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. I feel that you measure your success based on the success of the people who work for you or came up under your wings. Is that true?
Yes. Because man, listen, life is a team game.
Amen.
Right, life is a team game, and there's enough beach for everybody.
Amen.
Right, and my plot of beach is not defined by anyone else's, and theirs isn't defined by me. But my goal is to help them get there. The beach is big enough for us to all get there together. So I want everybody on our team to be at the beach. I don't want to be there alone. I'm not trying to be at the beach alone. What I'm gonna do? Sit there by myself with the whole beach to myself? That's not fun.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? It's all a teamwork make the dream work. It's cliche, but shit, we live by it.
No, you're definitely right. Question on you, brother.
Yo, so which driven you through this process, man? I've watched obviously your career evolve and understand a lot about your journey and everything, not just through music, but your whole journey. What keeps you going, and what keeps you wanting to expand to continue to grow and recreate your brand?
I think that I never feel fulfilled when I wake up. So I'm always trying to impress myself, you know, like naturally. Like I believe a friend of mine has a statement called natural selection.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to me, that's like the highest form of something being organic.
Yep.
You know, so when I sing a particular melody or something, and I'm like, oh, I did that? Oh, that means I need to dive into that bag because I possess that bag in me. I just didn't know it yet. So in any form or medium, whether it's a conversation like this on IG Live, or whether it's a new way to say a particular bar or melody, or I make a piece, a fashion piece, like I'm just creating it for myself, but I'm like, oh, this is hard. Like people would wear this, you know, that I like to impress myself because I make it hard to be impressed by anything.
Super dope.
You know, like that's what I let it be, but I let it be organic. I let it just happen. I'm never trying to force it. I just know that I'm in competition with my last every time I do something.
Oh man, said it. That's one I say to our team all the time. The biggest competition is against yourself. So usually when you celebrate the big moment, the people who's really good at this, there's that moment where you get nervous, like, damn, I gotta go do better than this. You're haunted by you're haunted by your progressions.
Exactly. And I learned the crazy thing about it, I can be honest with you, you know, I didn't even grasp that concept. Like when all the success of All Go Everything 7 years ago, I didn't even realize that I needed to play devil's advocate. I learned a key lesson where I didn't feel that I needed to match that again, because with art, to me, an artist should always be able to move and do what they want. They should art the way that they art.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel that people get so caught up in art that gets celebrated, like your accomplishments. They get so celebrated and locked into your accomplishments that sometimes they don't even want to move on to the next art.
Yes.
People
so stuck on that they can't see where you're going today.
Correct. Yeah. But the learning curve in that for me was that one of the main reasons why people didn't transfer with me is because I didn't initially know where I was going. Ooh. So it's like, I'm not going to drive. Nobody's going to drive with you, sir, if you don't know where the hell you're going.
Yeah, if you're not intentional and you're not pointed about, if you don't got direction and you don't have goals and you're not pointed on where you're going, it's hard for anybody to understand what you're doing.
Exactly. If people can't
Very
feel
true.
that, oh, this brother know what he's doing, sir, we're gonna stay right here at All Go Everything. And we're gonna
100%.
wait on you.
Yeah, 100%. Make me believe I'm supposed to go somewhere with you. Why am I
Exactly.
supposed to follow you? Who are you?
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
All right. So, question back on me. It's a little long, but
Okay.
bear with me.
Okay.
Hustling in the streets and hustling in streetwear
Mm-hmm.
is so similar and beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two things I've ever felt that I was incredible at in my life.
Okay.
Because before music, I ran a boutique in Atlanta. I did the whole shebang, ordering, boom, boom. I mean, I was the boutique and stylist, that whole world of fashion. And the similarities in these hustles is so amazing because they're so similar.
Yeah.
I felt that I was the man in the streets when I hustled in the streets because I was so good at it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to work to be good at it. Everything, music, anything after I got out of the streets and fashion and just streetwear, I had to work my ass off to be anything as good as I think I am. But that stuff, it just came to me naturally, right? And so you also had I feel that you also went through a situation of you wrote your business plan while on lockdown.
Yep.
And I didn't decide to take music serious till after I got out of being locked up.
Okay.
So I feel that being locked up, it kind of saved our mindsets.
Yep.
Right? I also agree with you on one more statement that this is the kicker for me, is that dudes who are really good at hustling in the street, they would kill it in the legal world if they could be more vulnerable, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
My question is this. Looking back at it now and being the real OG that you are, what are the best steps you would say for that street dude leaving their comfort zone? Like, what helps them? What do you think will get them,
You know what? I think the first thing they got to do is willing, because it's tough. It's tough. The biggest thing that I always laugh at, somebody laughed at me the other day when I said this to them, or last time I discussed this. The biggest unlock for me was I wasn't a big book reader before I went to prison. And to be honest with you, even now I'm more of a publication reader than I am a book reader. But when I got busted, it was books. I looked at the book and was like, oh my God, this is in here? Like, I couldn't believe the information was right there. Like, you mean this information is right here in front of my face? And then an old head who was in for a lot of time said to me, youngin, it's not about the information being in the book. It's about what you're willing to do with it, right? And I was still like, okay, but I didn't understand how to articulate what I wanted to do. I mean, obviously I had some technical education too, but to answer your question, the first thing I would do is focus on understanding the X's and O's of the business that you want to get in, right? Because if you understand, once you understand how to talk the talk, then it's easier to go in and figure it out, right? Because if you go in, people take advantage of you, right? And if they don't think you know, they're only willing to give you X amount of information, right? But if you can speak with the level of fluency, then people start to like, oh yeah, no, he know what he's talking about. Here's an opportunity for you, right? So the first thing I would do is say, I don't think somebody in the streets necessarily need to change their mind state, because the hustle's the same. You got to come at this shit like a wild pit bull. You gotta go. You gotta approach this shit like
tough skin, all that.
You know what I'm saying? Tough man, shit. Like guns are still at play. They just different. The bullets shoot different. The bullets in this industry now is emails and narratives, and you know what I'm saying? And those narratives in the business world can kill you. No different than the bullets in the streets kill you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I think it's about just understanding how to articulate yourself and understanding the industry you want to get in, and surrounding yourself by as many people as you can that's actually doing those things to figure out how you can create your steps. Because most dudes got some bread, right?
Yeah, of course. You come out the streets, you got some money.
You got some money.
You should.
Check the, yeah, you better have some money.
Exactly.
Right? You're risking your life, you better have some money. So take the money part out then it's just like surrounding yourself around the right people and making them understand you want to change.
Like
For us,
Antoine was for you, right? Kind of.
yes, yeah. Well, see, for me, Hutch was Antoine is Hutch. For everybody who don't know who Hutch is, Hutch, I'm constantly curious, and he realized I was constantly curious, so he would constantly keep throwing things at me and keep telling me like, "Yo, this is just," and compare things to the game. And even when I was in the streets, I was still in college, so I would go home on weekends and do what I need to do, go back to school, right? But when I would tutor other dudes who was in my situation, like one of the dudes that I tutored is doing, he came from doing juvenile life, and sadly now he's doing life in prison. But I tutored him in economics, and how I made him understand economics was I would compare everything to the streets.
Yeah.
So he did not understand what the professor was talking about once the professor gave us the lesson. I would sit with him after class and make it make sense to him in a way that we understood it from the corner.
Correct.
And he was able to go in and kill it after that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just bringing it down to a place where you understand it. Because in the streets, we're ultimately confident. It's our world. It's a jungle, but we understand that jungle, so we're comfortable in it. Yes. Other people are like, "Oh my God, those guys are savages. How could you think like that way? How could you be that way?" But it's our natural environment, so we're comfortable in our natural environment.
Amen. Love it.
The business world has not been our natural environment, and in a lot of ways, they keep us isolated out of it because we're not comfortable in it. So for me, even all the game with free game that the whole series about is just about people getting comfortable walking a different walk.
I love that. I love that. I also love that, it's important. A lesson, you got to find that medium to relate to somebody on. That's the biggest, I don't know if it's a downfall with school, because school is important, but it's not enough mediums for the students. It's more students with different types of appetites than what they're serving.
Well, one of my favorite Jay-Z lines is, "Far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it." Right? So when you think about that, it's just like, yo, you're right. School at a level doesn't necessarily help the kid who might have came from a Title I school, getting fucking B's, and then get to a college and they moving at a pace that he don't understand, right?
Right.
But it's also the burdens on us to make sure that we tell the youngins like, yo, if you lost, I tell my kids like, if you lost, speak up. I sat front and center of my college classroom, and when the teacher says something, I'll be like, whoa, slow down, because I don't understand what you just said. And he appreciated. I literally, and I've never said this, that teacher is now the president of the university that I went to. So we just met not too long ago for some other personal stuff that I was doing, trying to give back to the youngins that's coming into that school. And we even talk about that to this day. Most people aren't willing to say, like, yo, you talking over my head, yo. Do me a favor, go back 2 steps and play so I can understand what you're saying, right? And somebody just said on the comment, school sucks. No, you can't approach it that way, because in order to break the rules, you got to first understand them.
Facts.
So cool, I'm all for breaking the rules. I break them every day, right? I recreate things every day to suit how things are coming out of my head. But in order for people to respect what I'm saying, I had to first show them that I know what they're saying.
Be able to relate.
Yeah, so if they can't relate to you, you'll never relate to them.
That's a fact.
Gotta have some empathy. Works both ways.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's on you. Question on you, brother.
You know what? You know what? I got so lost in that. It's crazy and understanding about your journey. So I'm gonna ask you the same thing. As you sat in those walls, right? First day, you get sentenced and you realize you're going, and there's no changing it, right?
Okay. You back. Okay.
What was that process like? What was the process like going for you, knowing that you was in a place where you was losing your freedom, but me knowing you, you knew at that moment that wasn't the end of your story?
Well, first off, my time, I didn't need that much time inside for me to realize that I don't want to go back there ever again. You know, for me, when it comes to the streets, I never looked at it from a violent standpoint. I looked at it when it came to the streets. I never looked at it from a violent standpoint. So I was never gonna be the guy about shoot 'em up, bang bang type of stuff. I'm a hustler. I am the definition of like I'm a flip, 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 flip. Break it all the way down, break it all the way up. You know what I'm saying? However you want it, that's my game. And that mindset that I have or had, should I say, well, still have or whatever, it gave me power in my circles of people because they knew that he knows what's up. My taste level has always been good, no matter what the medium was. My taste level has always been pretty decent. It's like, if y'all on that type of smoke or that type of drug, I need to level it up. This I don't want to come in hustling like how y'all hustle.
Yeah.
So that allowed me, I say all that to say this, that allowed me to really just kind of move like I wanted to move. I felt like a king before the industry, before I got into music. You know what I'm saying? That didn't do nothing but blow my name up. But my style and my mindset, I had the streets on lock from the streetwear and the streets on my own before. So when I got locked up, when they take your freedom away, it's no clocks in there. I was like, oh, no, 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 because it reminded me that bosses don't go to jail. They don't get locked up. That is
freedom is important.
Freedom is so important. And until you lose that freedom,
you don't understand.
It's like, oh, how am I not going to get back in this position again? I got to get out of the cycle that I'm in because I'm getting too comfortable just hustling to buy gear and take care of my mother. I'm hustling for the wrong reasons. That's a good reason, don't get me wrong, but I need to dream bigger because I know that I got a bigger spirit. I got something bigger going on. I don't know what it is or whatever, because I didn't grow up to do music. I started music when y'all heard me doing music. That's when I started, right there. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that it's something bigger than what's going on in my life. And if I don't want to go back to this situation of being locked down and losing my freedom again, then I got to come with something. And that's when I opened my mind up to doing music. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like that is what it did for me. You know, it kind of just triggered me to know that in order to stop getting in the same trouble, you got to get out of the same cycles.
Yeah, 100%. And get in new circles.
Exactly. New circles, new surroundings, new systems. It don't matter how much that comfortable my old system was, because I literally felt like the man before the rap game. Like the man. To 100%. Me, I feel like every rapper wants to be like the man who's the man in the streets.
Yeah. Ball players want to be street dudes, and street dudes want to the grass is always greener, man.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I heard LL Cool J say he used to look up to Alpo and those guys, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's like and it's kind of like when I did that transfer or whatever, like I'm happy that I did it because I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now with the spirit that I have. You know, I probably, because I don't know, I just felt I was so good in the streets, just the streets alone. The streetwear was just like, man, look, I got this. This is nothing. The hustling, streetwear, and fashion, I just get it. I don't know why I get it, but I got it. Thank God.
100%. I think it's a natural part and a natural extension of our culture, man. We grow. It's as normal as eating greens. It just really felt that easy, and I had never done it before. When they asked me to come and work at this boutique in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? It was a Korean guy who was the owner. You know, it just didn't. It never felt hard. Not one time. I felt a little anxious when I went from being the sales associate guy in the front to like
a few people quitting, and then I got to be the guy that there's a mom and pop shop, so I got to be the guy to open, close, pay, handle the register, boom, boom, boom. I was like, hey, man. But I had somebody who was there who worked, who was already working there, and she really showed me the ropes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And now after after a month, I was like, oh man, I outworked everybody that ever worked there. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Everybody ever worked, and I worked there like the longest of anybody that ever worked for this guy. And then I left that situation and the streets to come into music.
yeah,
So I just really appreciate everything that went on, not just even being on lockdown, because I went on lockdown long enough to be like, more I did hard time, what I'm saying? But I did enough time to know like, oh, no, 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 sir. This ain't for me.
yeah, yeah. And I think to echo what you saying, man, the takeaway for me was exactly that too. Like, man, listen, two things is gonna happen. Either I ain't never coming back or I'm coming back forever. And I want to err on the side of never coming back.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. All right. Last question on me. Now, like I said, if too crazy, just say next.
Go for it.
There was a young man in my life,
Mm-hmm.
that I was in his life for a while, man. And, right when he was getting his mindset right, he got killed. And, and he got killed over a dispute on a mattress in the hood, and I feel that you could relate because, you lost a young man named Bugs in your life. You was a role model in this person's life.
Mm-hmm.
And my question, is what would you tell people is the best way to deal with that feeling of that you failed somebody that looked up to you?
It's crazy that you asked this question right now, because I've been sitting in my room by myself for the last 2 days. I just had a friend get killed 2 days ago. Not even 36 hours ago. Just got murdered.
Sorry to hear that.
And it's tough, man, because I owe these dudes everything, man. These dudes coming up, this particular person on numerous occasions risked his life for me, right? So it's like, here I am now, where I am now, and you know what I'm saying? He died the way he dies. Like, I don't know how. I still ask myself in this moment. I'm still figuring out how to cope. I'm sitting here. It's been fucking tough the last 2 days sitting, and I got to go literally get to Pittsburgh to get to his funeral in the next couple of days. That part never gets easy, yo, because when you really from where we from, I posted something on stories and I deleted it, and I think it said my pain is my motivation, if that makes sense. I feed off my pain.
Right.
Because it's like, yo, the thing you can't. It's my only way to put it. It's my only way of giving it back. Like, what am I going to go do now? I'm gonna go put some change on somebody to go touch somebody who touched somebody. Like,
revenge don't do nothing. That's somebody else there.
I can't do that. So I use it as my motivation. Like, if people know me and understand. I'm generally a positive person, but I move with a chip on my shoulder, and that's why. Like, yo, I got so much to prove for so many different people. Like, yo, I ain't made it nowhere. When people say like you've succeeded, like, motherfucker, I have a friend who died in the projects, the same projects that my company is named after 36 hours ago. I'm not nowhere yet.
All right, Whitaker projects, correct?
Yes, 100%. Like, so I'm not nowhere yet until we all there. Nobody's there.
Right.
Does
Back to that
sense?
beach analogy again.
Yes. So once again, yes, my circumstances is different, and yes, I can't make people come along with me. Yes, I can't bring them along, but that's what. So I guess to answer your question, my coping mechanism is giving people game. My coping mechanism is kicking the door off the hinges to let the next youngin' in behind me that if you really want to do the work, show me you want to do the work, and I'm gonna show you how to get in the door. Yo, listen, youngin', don't go left, because over left, you go left, they robbing people. You go right, you got a clear path into getting where you got to go. So my way of coping is giving back, because I can't do it any other way. Because honestly, emotionally, I don't know how to.
Right.
And I haven't solved that yet, yo.
Nah, I mean, and I'm sorry if I, like I said, if I,
No,
you
bro.
know,
You know I'm an open book. Hey, there is no sorries. This is real life out here,
yeah, you know,
right?
like,
There's no sorry. Like we're on this platform to tell our stories, and this is a real part of my story, and it's a part that I don't necessarily talk about because people don't like talking about the bottom. People in the boardrooms don't want to hear about the fucking bottom. They don't want to hear about people getting their head blew off in the trenches. They don't want to hear that motherfuckers ain't got no food. They don't want to hear that. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, yo, at the end of the day, for me, that's real. That's my reality. So what did I wake up in the world that I wake up in? When I close my eyes like I'm going to sleep in the projects and there's a fan in the window. You know what I'm saying? And shots is going off. That's still my reality. It'll be my reality for the rest of my life. That's who I am. That's where I'm from.
no, when I lost my friend I was telling you about, it hit me twice because, well, first of all, you know, it's his mother who calls me to tell me, and I know that he just had a child, and the second thing was that I know that we've been through so much to get his mindset out of the bullshit. You know, it's one thing when somebody say, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. And then when you could tell that they finally got you. And then like, I mean, I could be honest with you, man. Like I probably, up to that moment, he passed away probably a year now. You know, up to that moment, I've never cried. Like I never see my father cry. Never see my father cry. So crying is just not in our religion. My brothers don't cry. No men in my family cry. Let me say that much. Or whatever. It's just not in our thing. But you know, and I felt weak. I felt horrible. I called my best friend because I'm like, why am I mean, I know why I'm crying, but I hadn't cried in so long that I was like, I feel like I just lost my whole concept of life.
Yeah, bro, for us as black men, yo, nobody talks about mental health, right? And listen, man, there's parts of my story that probably ain't gonna ever come out, right? But
Right.
man, listen, I can list off over 30 of my friends that lost their life easily. And if I started going with extended friends, the number would double.
Right.
Right. So when you start talking about the way we came up and how we came up and what, like, yo, man, it's like what do they call that shit? PTSD. It's
Yeah.
like yo, what's the difference? Like I lived in a war. Come on, man. Come on, motherfucker shot at my school bus after basketball games, man. Like the shit that we came up in is different. So when you start talking about mental health and the challenges of black men and mental health and the way we don't express ourselves and we don't talk about our mental health openly. Like, yo, when my friends come to me with problems and we have shared friends, when they come to me with problems, I'm the first one to say, like, yo, man, I'll go see a counselor and I'll go see a therapist in a heartbeat. Because if you don't get it out, it'll become you, yo.
Right.
And for me, I can't be a burden. I can't pick up the phone and call you, yo, bro, what's good with you? Man, just stressing, yo. Shit is just tough, man. If I do that to you every day, eventually you're not gonna answer the phone.
Amen.
Or you're gonna answer the phone different and prepare yourself for the negativity. I shouldn't put that weight on people I love.
Amen.
That's the role of a therapist. And if you don't tend to your mental health will tend to you. So for me, like I said a couple minutes ago, I sat in my room for 2 days getting through my thoughts, right? And I'm not gonna pick up the phone and put my negativity on people. But I'll say to somebody like, yo, when it's fucking tough, I'll say it. And the last couple of days been tough. But eventually, you know what I'm saying, you gotta bottle it up. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with somebody, and then I'm gonna have to bottle it up, and I'm gonna have to get this shit to the world. And it's gonna come out a different way. Does that make sense?
No, definitely. Finding a way to express the things that bother us on the same level as the the ways that we express things that our celebrations is important. Both are important.
100%, man. Like, I pride myself on being a real friend to the people that I'm friends to, because the shit means a lot to me. And man, we can go, if I start going down the road of this shit, man, mental health and the struggle that we come from is beyond real. That's why I get so passionate about people culture vulturing our culture and not paying back into our culture, and companies coming in and feeding off our backs and taking money out of our communities and don't want to put shit back. Like, for me, I'm not into that. Like, you got to give something back. Like, no different than if you know, if you coming into a block and you taking something off a block and you ain't giving nothing back, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get robbed.
Amen.
Does that make sense?
Amen.
So we gotta hold this culture as accountable to this. We gotta hold the culture to the same level of accountability that we hold people in the streets to.
Yes, sir.
So for me, that's what it's about. Like, yo, you ain't just gonna keep taking off these youngins' back. You ain't gonna just keep taking from us and not putting nothing back, yo. People died for this shit.
Died. No, my brother, I appreciate you speaking on that, because when, like I said, man, when I did my homework, it was so crazy, because I mean, first of all, I never want to ask anybody a question anybody already asked you. I pride myself on trying not to do that. But when it comes to situations, when it comes to life and death, you know, it's a touchy subject for everybody. You know, and
but it's our reality, bro.
Yeah.
The one thing it can't be a touchy subject when 70 people are dropped in Chicago in one day. It can't be a touchy, man. It can't be. I don't have a friend. I don't have a living friend that's been shot. If I don't have a living friend that's from my projects that ain't at least been shot, that came up when I came up. It can't be a touchy subject. It's our reality.
Yes, sir.
So for me, like, excuse me if, you know, some of the shit ain't as important as others. Like, cool, Paris is cool. I fucks with that. Fashion is dope. It's my love. I fucks with that. Sneaker is dope. I fuck with that. But at the end of the day, I'm from the projects. That's the most important.
Nah, man. I couldn't say it any better. I couldn't say it any better. I'm happy that we were able to express that feeling. A question on you, brother. Talk to me. Ask me. You know, I'm wide open, like you.
With all that and going back to the more positive, tell me about what's next. I got a chance to listen to watch the video earlier today, Black Owned.
Thank you.
And I loved how you were able to take something, take a message that's so powerful, but still keep the track of the song upbeat and so youngest can grab it. Tell me about that thought process, and tell me about some of the creativity that went into tying all the things that are important to you into a track.
Well, for me, I think that the universe has blessed me with the power of being able to, almost like yourself, where we understand both worlds. We understand the bottom, we understand the top. But what's important is figuring out how to give out that curriculum, a curriculum that you can understand. So with that being said, it's like, I have conversations with young people. Like I said, my young buddy, my young buddy who passed away, he was young. He wasn't even past 25. He was young. So I've known him before he even hit his 20s. And it was with all the bullshit. And I talk to so many different type of people. I'm a communicative type of person, because I believe that if somebody starts talking to me, we have a conversation, I think it's about something that I need to say to you, or whatever. If you start talking to me, it got to be a reason that I must be saying something to you that you want to hear. And I feel that our conversation is so important. Making it count is kind of like the biggest service that we could do. You know, it's the biggest service you could do. So with me, I used everything that I learned as over the last 7 years of just studying and working on my craft of music and working. never forgetting where I came from and how I came up, and then everything that I've been through still in the streets during these 7 years of like working on my craft. And now I feel that I'm at that place where it's like, I think I understand how to talk to the youngins to a certain extent or whatever, because at the end of the day, with knowledge, free game per se, or whatever, it's always you gonna hear it, but only certain ones gonna grasp it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's with grown men, not even kids. That could be with grown men.
Yes, no different than a book. No
Exactly.
different than a book. The information is there. Is you gonna apply the information?
Just like the OG said to you. You know what I'm saying? So I said to myself, okay, how do I make this game that I'm trying to deliver the most appealing? And so, you know, Black Owned is a great first chapter of that book that I'm writing through my legacy. It won't just all happen in one time because I'm still mastering the craft.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But I know
and it's
that
building blocks. And it's building blocks.
Exact steps, building blocks, steps to a better reality, a better place. And you know, but not being preachy. Kids don't care about preachy. And then at this point in time, I realized millennials, their attention span is just about as a kid as the kids.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not much of a difference there. You know, like the people that I have the best conversations with are usually people that's 10 years older than me because they have time to listen. Listening is so important. So it's
100%.
like, how do I make, to get back to your questions, like, how do I make the art that I'm making something that you want to listen to from different ages? I already know my older crew, they listening or whatever. We good. I don't even have to trip on that. If you over the age of 33, we should be there. We should be on a good place. You should be able to relate if you got your life in order. Anybody younger or whatever, if you're a teenager, fashion. I know drip is the bait.
Yeah, it's universal conversation.
Exactly.
Like on our side, so as is product. Product is always the conversation. It's the driver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I could bring you in with these Louis pieces or, you know, whatever brand it is, you know what I'm saying, Black owned or not, then you're going to come and see, what is this person dressed in the things that I want, these shoes that I want to attain? Why do they have it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, yes, 100%. Because it's funny because we always say all the time, if you don't got their attention, they're not gonna listen to you, right? Like, because you can't even if they don't respect you, they're not gonna listen. And you're only as big as your platform, right?
Facts.
So it's like, damn, you stay quiet. Frank just pinged in, and that was one of the things that Frank always laughed at me about, because I would say, man, fuck the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm less about no disrespect to nobody in it, but more about just me being who I am and where I'm from. But then I had to realize, like, yo, I'm only as big as the platform that I use, right? So obviously, I'm never going to be the mascot for our brand. I'm never going to be the guy who you see walking in runways. I'm just not that guy, right?
Right.
But I am the guy who built what we built, right?
Yes.
And I've surrounded myself with a team that's continue to help us build it. So now we got to leverage our equity and give it back, to your point. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get to a point where they listening to you, you got to give them some more. And then, by the way, I'm going to give you this other thing that they be like, damn, that's crazy. Now I'm going to give you some more. Keep listening.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I hear you. I hear you.
You know,
because exactly what you said.
I think about when I was coming up and the music that I listened to, you know, is like, I had my parents for a little bit of my life before they split, but, you know, I didn't understand what the idea of respecting a woman until I heard Lauryn Hill, Miseducation, until I heard Window Seat from Erykah Badu. I don't know why that resonated with me. I can't recite the lyrics or whatever, but it was just something about that I was like, dang, maybe respecting women, that's a thing or whatever.
Yeah.
That's stuck in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Of how you should treat a woman, you know?
100%.
So you never know what message you're delivering and who's going to receive it. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? But you must deliver it with a purpose.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You must care about the message you're delivering. You know,
Yes.
I don't think you have to sacrifice your cool to deliver a good message.
No, and the one thing I always say in meetings, man, cool, cool is something that's in you. And for me, I've never tried to portray it because it is me. So I don't need to sell people. I need to sell people who I am because I'm authentically me, and I'm gonna show you my work, and I'll let you judge the work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you can get to me. Me is for me. I'll put the work out for the world, and you can judge the work. But I'm prideful of my work, and I focus to make sure that the value's in the work. So you gotta respect it. Does that make sense?
No. It makes all the sense. It makes
Yeah.
all the sense.
Yeah.
Let's take some questions. Let's see if anybody asks something that you know it's worth your time.
Yeah, well, 100%. You could pull one up. I'm sitting here going through the. Yeah, I can go through it. Let me see if there's any.
When you guys got in trouble, did you?
We need to change the attention from Louis V. People don't care. Encourage kids. Any questions? Anybody out there?
I got one for you in the meantime.
Okay, go
Do
for it.
you a brother of mine says that you sat down with him before you decided to carry their brand,
Yep.
right? And you know you gave them game. My question is, do you always feel it's necessary to sit down with brands before you carry them and talk about trajectory, or is it certain ones that need to talk?
You know what? If you got to know who you sleeping with,
Amen.
and because this is an industry of authenticity and integrity, right?
Yes.
And the reason why let's look at the history of fashion, right? LVMH are who they are, right? It's because it's excellence in quality,
Yes.
excellence in service,
Yes.
right? And history, right? And the key word is keywords are excellence in history,
Yes.
longevity, right? So for me as a boutique builder, right? A brand builder, brand owner, I can't think about making $1 today. I'm thinking about all of my dollars. I'm thinking about the dollars 1,000 years from now, right? So this is a relationship, because when a brand comes in, right? And we call brands whores, right? When they start doing what whores do, right?
Right.
But what do you get when whores are whores? You get STDs, right?
Mm.
So that brand could bring something bad back home to you. So for me,
Crazy.
I can't associate myself with brands that can potentially give me herpes.
Say that again. Yeah, kind of cut off for a second there.
I said I can't associate our business with brands that could potentially give us herpes.
Amen.
Does that make sense? So this is
Crazy.
about a long-term marriage that we're both committing to a level of integrity for a sustained period of time.
Mm.
And we're invested in each other's futures collectively and together. I mean, individually and collectively. I'm sorry, individually and collectively.
Okay.
So if brands aren't signing up for a long-term investment with us, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in making money for the quarter. Right now, it's different if a bigger partner comes to me. If it's a big partner, a big shoe brand partner. I ain't gonna say none of them right now, right? But
Right.
if
No
one of them
names. No
said
names.
if one of them said to me, "Hey James, we need you to help us with this model because it's going to be important for our enterprise and even out of your segment of the business," like, okay, James, it's important. This is going to be important for Foot Locker in 2 seasons. We need you to help it in your channel right now. Cool. Because I know I can go to that partner and say, what are the things that's going to be meaningful for our community and for our channel of business for the next 5 years? And we can sit down and work on both of those strategies. That's a
Exactly.
partnership. That's a relationship. Those
Right.
are the kinds of things that I'm looking for in a brand partner. If you just chasing a bag, we're the wrong. Like those are not the principles that we're built on, if that makes sense.
No.
It's
I love
it's
that.
it's long term for us.
I love that. I love that. Man, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Dude.
if they ain't got no questions, we can keep
Yeah. But today, go ahead. Ask me a journey if you want to. Go ahead.
somebody asked when James, okay, Scott, James, how has your focus as a business owner shifted since COVID? So I'm gonna ask you that question,
Okay.
and then I'll answer it myself.
Okay.
For you, since COVID started, how have you begun to change the focus of your brand, your business, to react to the new world, the world of the last 60 days?
Right, right. I'm going to say something to you, and it's either going to make you raise your eyebrows or you're going to be like, that's interesting. I am one of my crazy traits is that I love working harder than smarter. I love working harder than smarter.
100%.
It's just my father. All I know of my father is him working. We didn't have a great relationship. It was horrible when I was young. But what I do know is that he worked and worked and worked and worked. I checked on him today. We're in a great space now. I checked on him today. What is he doing? Working right now. He won't stop. I give him money. He won't stop. He won't stop or whatever. So we're all the same. Me and all my brothers. That's what we do. I love working harder than smarter. So I say that to say this. This situation stopped me from moving the way I move, going to Atlanta, New York, here, networking. I get inspired by moving around. That's how I create new things, from paying attention and moving around. I heard you say your passport was like your MB. You know what I'm saying? Like your
Yes.
passport was so important. You know what I'm saying? Like your passport is so important. Traveling is so important.
Yes.
So not being able to travel, that bothers me every single day, at least every 2 hours. Where it's like, I'm in these damn walls. You know, it don't matter all the things I buy to put around me to make me feel happy. Moving around is what truly makes my soul feel happy. So, not to answer your question, just adapted. You know, I realized that what I did have to realize like some certain money that I would have did all that traveling to make, I made it sitting in the same spot.
Yep.
The same money. The same goddamn money sitting in the same damn spot. So it's like, all right, I don't ever want to be a fool. I know that me liking to work harder than smarter is a little awkward to certain people, to a lot of people. But I don't ever want to be a fool. And a fool will be some person I would be a fool if I was to deny the fact that I made, in certain things that I make money from, I made the same money sitting in the same spot for 60 days. So I need to expand. I need to lock in on that bag because obviously I got that bag or whatever. Don't turn away from a bag that is naturally there. You know, natural selection. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't turn away from it. So I've just been adapting and learning new things or whatever, you know. I've never used this IG Live. I never used IG Live before I started doing these. Never used it. Just didn't see the point or whatever. Like, my life is I like being private. I like holding my cards. You know, that's my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Keep them close to you.
Yeah, it's the streets. It's like, you don't tell everybody where your trap at. Like, why would I tell you anything about my organization?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You're not hustling with me. So as this has allowed me to find freedom in release. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to express.
Yes, it's interesting you say that, because for me, it's been about, you know, it's always about, life's always about how fast you can pivot, right? It's how fast you can pivot and how you adjust to change, and if you have the ability to create change and be the change.
Yes.
Right. So for me, it's always, I've always erred on first understanding the marketplace, then making sure that I can add value to the marketplace, then changing it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's really the first thing, once COVID hit, the first adjustment I had to make was obviously making sure our digital side was locked in, but our infrastructure was strong. So I knew I didn't have to think about that check. The next thing was our people, right? It's like, we got a team of 200 people that supports everything that we do.
Correct.
So it's like, okay, how does this affect our team, and how do we level it out to make sure everybody's good, right? And now, how do we create, now moving forward, how do we create a platform that allows our team to be able to focus at a high level, but be safe at the same time, right? Because for us, like, I think people don't always think about everything that it takes to do what we do, not just us, industry as a whole, right? not all the work that it takes to get product on the shelves or to create product and the brand product. Like, yo, none of that shit just, it's not just like, yo, fucking print and go. So to manage 200 people for these last 60 days has been the part that's, you know, that you're constantly making adjustments to, because you constantly got to think about making sure they're good.
They're good. They're healthy.
Now, once you take the people out of it, it's just about scaling local and making it global, right? Before, same as you, I never use that. Still now, and I don't use IG Live. I use it to get on these platforms and do interviews with people who I respect and people who I want to engage with, because I believe they add value to the world, right? But it's about how do we take our community platforms and keep them local, keep them local, but allow global participation in digital and global scaling, right?
Yes, sir.
So local's the new global, right?
Come on.
So it's like letting everybody feel, because the difference between all of us in all of our areas, right? If you look at the people who around the world who do what we do at a high level, right? Everybody do something different. But now what COVID has really made us focus in on is how do you get the authenticity of your message? How do you scale authenticity? Because what I am is not scalable, right? Like,
correct.
Right. So for me, it's about touching our people and making sure we all connect the same way, right? Because that's the other part. No different than you ask about brands we deal with. For me, even when I interview, the resume is for my team to see. It's about, does this person fit our culture? Is the synergy right? Right? Is the work ethic right? Is their integrity right? Or are they here for the right reasons? Being able to do the work, if you're around long enough, we can teach you to do the work. But do you have all the other things that matter?
Facts.
So I hopefully that answered the question, Scotty.
Nah, for sure. I ask you one more. We're in the bonus round. Call this the bonus round.
All right.
What store in Japan set the tone for you when you came back to the States?
All of them. When I first went, all of them, the whole trip. You got to think. The background to that story was I had just got off of federal probation.
Yes.
Just got my passport.
This is 07, right? 07, 08?
This is 07.
Right before
07.
freaking.
So I had never, at that point, the last time I had been out the country before that, I was 19 years old.
Was it for basketball? Or what was it?
It was study abroad for my freshman year of college.
Wow.
I came off the corner, freshman year of college, got straight A's freshman year of college, and they sent me on a study abroad scholarship to London and Scotland.
Wow.
I got my passport back, and after conversations with Hutch, the whole Japanese experience, I walked that town. I walked the whole everything. Aome, Harajuku,
Shibuya, everywhere.
Everything.
Amen.
And honestly, now that I say it, now I can tell you, now it just hit me. One store that grabbed me most was probably the Original Fake store. That's back when Original Fake still existed, and before people cared about 20-foot companions and everything. Cause is everywhere right now, right?
Yeah.
Like that, the idea of Original Fake back then was like crazy. So that was one that probably grabbed me most.
Right.
And then if we're just talking about fucking great retail experiences that you sit in and you just get off on, OG Colette, I could sit there for hours.
Right.
I could sit in Colette in his glory, and not even any day I could sit there for hours. That place was like, man, it was all the emotions wrapped up in one. For me, when I engage in a retail experience, and I've said this countless times, it's about emotion. It's about sensory overload. I wanna make sure all the person's senses, smell, touch, sight, all taste. If you can hit on all those senses, you're getting somewhere. Colette, man, best that ever done it to get in all senses. So for me, in creating spaces and getting emotions and feelings and going on the journey, from a retail and creative perspective, it's about trying to fire up all those emotions and fire up all of that in a person, so they can't. It's just like they can't even shop for the first couple minutes. It's just like, Like, you know, it's an orgasmic feeling where you just hear it, smell it, you take it all in, and then you go. For me, that's it.
Nah, I had to ask that question because when I went to Japan for the first time, I was like, man, what the hell, man? Like, what have I been doing? Like, I mean, I think that I'm pretty fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I think I'm the most confident person, but no, I'm not. Like, Japan is like Japan really showed me just a different level of confidence, you know, because when I went there, you know, people were very excited about, you know, well, of course, this tall black guy with a crazy outfit on. But, you know, for me, I love to look at fashion through regular people, on regular people, not
Yep.
celebrities or people with a bunch of money. I like to look at the person who like has to save up to buy Jordan's outfit compared to the person who just has all the Jordans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or just things that are more curated. And now think about that now. You want to hear you know the crazy part about it now is the hood is the new Harajuku.
The hood is everybody's. The hood is on some form of fashion is on everybody's mood board.
Yes, because the hood is the mood board. Right? That's the biggest unlock for this generation. The biggest unlock for this generation is we could take it back because we own it. I'll wake up. Look at me. I'm in my fucking. If I flip this camera, I'm in my bedroom, sitting on the chair in the corner of my bedroom. I ain't going no club. I turn on music in my room. I catch my vibes because a homie like, yo, check, you hear this? Like, yo, I see the gram. My gram is my curated space of people that I want to get energy from.
Correct.
And I surf the internet for vibes and creative things that I want to pull off. And then I go. So for me now, and keep in mind, I'm from you know where I'm from.
Correct.
Right? So
From
now
that.
these kids have an opportunity because we've never had this level of information. We've never had this level of access. We've never had this amount of mentors in a room that was willing to give the information for free.
For free.
The hood is Harajuku right now. It's up to these kids in this next generation. I'll win when 40 years from now, I'll win when I sit there and I'll walk in these rooms and we run the room. Because ultimately, not because it should be, not because I want reverse racism. That's not what I'm looking for. But I'm looking for the people who really are from this, who built this to have a say in this. That's probably the best way I can lead this conversation.
Yeah, I think that that answers every question that I did my homework on. I did, but you know what I'm saying. My brother, like I said, man, I truly appreciate your time. I truly appreciate your spirit and everything that you stand for, man. And I want you to continue to, you know, betting on that 0.1% because you got the 99 in control.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Yo, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you mean to our culture. Continued blessings to you, man. Thank you for having me on the platform. And always, I stay at you. Keep killing it, boy.
Yes, sir. You already know,
on everything,
brother.
but
Peace.
keep pushing it.
God bless, brother.
All right, peace. All right, God bless.
Good vibes. Good vibes.